Hey everybody, what is going on? This is Orvie3NWO, and I'm going to start doing this once a week, I think. I'm going to call it Orvie Talks or something like that, and just have a random subject. Just kind of talk to you guys without gameplay. I hope that the angle's alright. I don't usually do a lot of commentaries in the morning, and when I had it in the normal spot, the sun was just like blaring through, like you could see it coming through my beard and everything. It was just, it was weird. So I hope the angle and all this is okay. We'll work on that. So if it's not, let me know in the comments and I'll fix it. This time I want to talk about a book that I just read. It's kind of a review, kind of just to tell you about it. It's awesome. It is one of the coolest books I've ever read. The name of the book is called The Rook, and it's in the Shekway series, which there's only one right now, but he's already working on number 2, so it may end up being like, if you read any of like James Patterson's books, where it's the same guy for like 60 books, so it's something you can dive into. It's by Daniel O'Malley. Let me read you first little part here. Dear you, the body you are wearing used to be mine. And it goes on to say that you are probably aware of this next part already, since if you are reading this, you have survived several immediate threats, but you are in danger. Just because you are not me does not make you safe. Along with this body, you have inherited certain problems and responsibilities. Go find a safe place and then open the second letter. It's crazy. It's this girl. The main character's name is Miffany, which is basically it's Tiffany but with an M. It's a little weird. She's Welsh, so that's where that comes from. I didn't show you the cover. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it because no, you won't. Well, crap. I got it on my iPad, on my mini. That's what I was reading it on. Anyways. Her name is Miffany. It's spelled a little funny, but anyways, so when she wakes up, she's laying in the middle of this park, and there's like 8 dead guys around her, and they're all wearing these rubber gloves. And she's got total amnesia. She does not know who she is. She starts reading these letters that were prepared for her by who was apparently inhabiting the body before her. So it's really is it the same person and she just can't remember that it's her? Is she a totally different person that somehow got into this body? That's one of the big, kind of plot lines in the story as she goes to figure this out. Basically, the girl gives her a choice. She says, okay, look, someone is out to get you in your own company. And you have 2 choices. You can either go back and pretend to be me, find out who it was, and clear yourself. Or you can take all this massive amount of money and all this stuff that I set up for you and run and just never look back, change your name, be somebody else for the rest of your life. And so things happen from there. I'm trying very hard not to spoil anything because this book has a ton of twists and turns and cool little things in it. Anyways, the place that she works, where this person that's out to get her is this huge secret corporation. It's like the NSA or the CIA or something, but you really have to think of it more like kind of the Men in Black. And it's weird. This book reminds me of a lot of things. It reminds me, the main character basically is sort of like Will Smith's character in the first Men in Black. Kind of recruited into this weird secret spy agency and has no idea any of it's been around. At the same time, it reminds me a lot of like Serenity or Firefly, if you've watched any of that. There's also a ton of like X-Men elements and superhero elements mixed in. It's a really cool book. So this company that they work for, it's called the Shekway. And basically, there are powered people and there are non-powered people that are working in it. But what they do is they kind of contain and fix the threats of powered things, so like aliens or, whatever it may be, they take care of it. Like if there's a wild monster running rampant in New York, these are the guys that fix it. You never know about them. The only people that know about them are like the king and queen of England and the president of the United States, and like very few people even know, and even those people don't talk to them. So as you get into it, you get to meet more people that work with her. She has a the reason they call it the Rook is basically the whole hierarchy of the system is set up around chess pieces. So the rooks There are also bishops, and then there's the higher ups and everything, so on and so forth. But there's 2 bishops. She's one of 2 rooks. She's one of them, and then there's another one. And the coolest thing, this is one of the coolest things I'd ever seen for an enemy. It's one person, it's one mind, but it controls 4 bodies. 2 of them are like actual twins. There's another brother and a sister. But the one mind controls them all. He can control them all at one time, have them in different countries. He can have them in the same room talking to each other or talking to separate people, having different conversations. It's a really cool dynamic that they put in there. And all of the people throughout the book, not all of them, but most of them, have some sort of power like that. This main character, Miffany, I kind of imagine when I put a face to it, I think of Numi Rapace. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right, but if it's the girl from the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies, not the American version. It's also the girl from Prometheus, the main character from Prometheus, and she was in Pirates of the Caribbean, the newest one with Salma Hayek and Johnny Depp. That's kind of what I'm getting when I see this girl running around. She's kind of dark and secluded, and she's real, to herself and everything. And man, I can't explain to you how cool this book is. They go through and they fight. She finds out that she has a power and that it's incredibly powerful, and she's having to kind of figure out how it works, and because they didn't really think that she had very much of a power, and then this thing it blossoms into this enormous deal. There's crazy fight scenes. There's this one where, well, let me tell you about the enemies. The enemies they have are these people that basically they were, if you think back into the medieval times, there were alchemists and things like that who were trying to, turn normal metal into gold, or everyday objects into gold, and they kept working and working, and it's just they really tried to do this. That didn't end up happening, but in this storyline they did stumble across a way to add new body parts and power, and they call them what do they call them? Oh, they add attributes to people. So they were making these enormous, just incredibly fast, incredibly strong fighting monsters, and ended up having this huge war with the Shekway. So those people, they thought they had crushed them and killed them back then, but they came back, and so now everything's going crazy. She has to find out who's trying to kill her in her own company, and she has to try and stop this huge invasion from this outside terror group, basically. I can't explain how awesome I thought this book was. I just keep saying that over and over. I keep saying awesome over and over. I'm a huge fan of books. I read quite a bit. I know that most of you guys probably don't, but I've read all the Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to go through it all, Great Gatsby and all that stuff. I'm just name dropping. But if you need something to read, especially for a class, or if a teacher's telling you, oh, you need to read, or you have to. I had this thing where I would have to read a book and then log into the computer and take a test on it, and then I got points towards the accelerated reading, I think is what it was called. If you guys are still doing that, this is a great book. It's not hard to read at all. I read it in 2 days. It's 500 pages. I read it in 2 days. It's easy reading, but there are some challenging aspects to it. So it's going to be a very impressive book to say that you read, but it's really cool along the way. And so I think it would be an awesome book if you get to pick your own and you need something to read, or if you just want to read a book. This is one of the coolest things I've ever read. Really, really cool. It's up there in my favorite books now. So check it out. It's The Rook by Daniel O'Malley. Thanks for watching, guys. That's really all I got to say. And I'm going to do more of these, but they're pretty much open. It's not going to be a book review or a movie review every time. I'll try and think of some other just random, maybe current events or something. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear some feedback on this as far as doing this as a weekly special or whatever. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.